Welcome to the deep dive. I want you to imagine walking into a massive sports bar on opening day, or maybe stepping inside a high-tech security control room.
Oh yeah, with the massive walls of monitors.
Right. You look up and see dozens of screens. They are all flawlessly synchronized, switching from one live feed to another without missing a single beat. Have you ever wondered how they actually pull that off behind the scenes?
Well, I mean, it definitely requires more than a team of people hiding in the back frantically clicking a handful of TV remotes.
No, definitely not. Today, our mission is to demystify that high-end audio and video routing. We're looking at a product page from HDTVSupply for a piece of hardware called the Zenty ZT-131 Modular Matrix Chassis.
Which really acts as the ultimate conductor for these massive setups.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this.
To really grasp what this hardware is doing, we have to look at the journey of a single video signal. The Zenty ZT-131 acts as a high-tech traffic cop. It's an 18 by 18 matrix.
Meaning you get 18 discrete inputs and 18 outputs to play with for your displays and projectors.
Yep, all sitting at a highly approachable $700 price point.
Which is surprisingly accessible for commercial gear. But in a 247 environment, hardware eventually fails.
It always does.
Right, so if one of those input ports just dies during a live broadcast, do they have to pull the plug on the whole matrix to fix it?
What's fascinating here is how it handles that exact worst-case scenario. This chassis is completely modular.
Okay.
It relies on hot-swappable input and output cards. You can slide in individual cards for HDMI, DVI, VGA, DisplayPort, or even HD-based DT.
Which is incredibly useful because it lets you run ultra-high-definition video over standard cheap Ethernet cables.
For really long distances.
So if a port burns out, you just pop the old card out and slide a new one in.
While the system is still actively running.
Wow.
Precisely. The specs list a 10,000-hour average obstacle-free time. But the core insight here is that commercial AV is fundamentally about risk mitigation.
By making the architecture hot swappable, it treats video routing as mission-critical infrastructure.
Very much like a server farm does.
Yeah.
It is designed to keep the show running no matter what.
Okay, so following that signal's journey, once it's safely inside the matrix, the chassis has to send it to a screen. The source highlights a seamless switching feature here.
Oh, that is crucial.
Because I think we all know the universal panic of trying to switch inputs during a big presentation while the audience just stares at a bright blue screen or an awkward flickering black box.
Right. That is the standard handshake delay between devices trying to sync up their resolutions and refresh rates. This Zenty chassis bypasses that entirely.
So you switch an input and the new video feed appears instantly.
Instantly, without any of that jarring blackout.
And doing that requires serious processing power. The specs mention a transmission bandwidth of 10.2 gigabits per second.
That is a massive amount of data.
Yeah, so we aren't just squeezing a compressed video file through a tube here. This is raw, uncompressed data to keep the latency practically at zero.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that seamless experience and massive bandwidth support up to 4K resolution at 60 Hz, it also actively enables the built-in TV wall function.
How does that work when you're trying to stretch one image across multiple individual monitors?
The hardware is specifically built to adjust splicing edges. When you tile multiple screens together, the physical bezels...
The frames around the monitors?
Exactly. They create visual gaps in the image. The chassis calculates and compensates for those gaps, perfectly aligning the edges across all the different displays.
So it looks like one giant continuous window.
Precisely.
Which brings us right back to you listening right now. Whether you are an insanely curious techie who loves understanding how this infrastructure operates, or you are prepping to upgrade a commercial space of your own.
Understanding hardware like this bridges the gap between a basic living room TV and a professional zero-lag broadcasting environment.
It all comes down to supreme customizable control.
Yeah, you can manage the system via front panel push buttons over a local area network or through an RS-232 connection.
Which is that old school, ultra-reliable serial port connection that almost never goes down.
It is bulletproof. Plus, it is backed by a 5-year warranty and lifetime technical support.
So what does this all mean? It means industrial-scale AV management is becoming incredibly modular and highly user-friendly. You really don't need to be a broadcast engineer to manage a massive, flawless video wall.
This raises an important question. As hardwired modular matrix chassis like the Zenty ZT-131 become this incredibly advanced and seamless, will purely software-based or Wi-Fi casting solutions ever truly be able to match the rock-solid split-second reliability of physical AV switch?